welcome back to another episode of Wedding Chimes with Val.
Let the chimes begin.
I love it. The most informative so far that I've ever seen on any platform.
Very true.
This is the best. This is the best. You're really informative and you have a lot of juicy tidbits. I like anything juicy.
Yes.
Tidbit-wise.
Whoa. This is a wedding podcast.
Tidbit-wise.
You take it easy over here. It's a wedding podcast.
Yes.
Now we're getting, we're going too far
We're going
with
to
this.
the bachelorettes, but that's okay.
She likes juicy.
Tidbits, news,
Yes,
information.
I was going to say the information, the good stuff.
So how are you girls?
Good. Excited for a new episode.
You had a good week, a good...
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty good
It's
week.
almost wedding season, so
Yes.
we're right now we're in the fun. Actually, my first one is coming up Thursday, tomorrow.
Huh.
First wedding.
A Thursday wedding.
I have a big Jewish wedding at the
There you go.
the Science Center. We're at the Science
Ooh, that's
Center.
a nice one. That's a nice
the one
venue.
overlooking the
With the
water.
canal is nice.
where
It's a nice view.
where it's $25 a car to park. Yes, and then we gotta get everyone. Like the band is like, can we have a parking pass? Can we have a parking pass? No one wants to pay the $25.
Love that.
But it's an easy load in. You see how I know all the venues by how you
I was
load
going to
the...
say,
Yeah.
The door is right in front of the stage, so we open the door and bang, it's right there. Beautiful.
Nice.
Love it.
But today we have a different topic,
Yes,
though.
we do.
Which one did you come up with this time?
Decorations.
Ooh,
Yes,
decorations.
plays a big part in any wedding, basically.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah, it's a lot
Really?
to dive in. So
Oh my God. So take it away, Val.
Yes.
Well, look at this. Let's just start by saying, look at Val.
Yeah.
Right? She, the decorating queen, right?
Yes.
As a wedding planner, it's the thing you do mainly.
Yeah.
it's a big part of my job. I
so
have
look
to
at
say.
the pink, the couch, the
It's-
sweater,
it's
the
a vibe.
flowers.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I have a lot of pink clothing, so you'll see throughout this podcast I'm just wearing pink.
I love it.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
That's it. That's pink. The next one's
So,
also
what's
pink.
your spiel on? What do you say? For
well-
decor, what's the first thing you look at?
I'd say decor is based on what you think. Well, not what you think, but it's more what you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Because decor could get out of hand very quickly.
Oh my.
You could go from having a tasteful decoration to like overboard. That's just too much,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Super
think I could
cheese.
see it. I could see
So
it.
I'll give you an example. You're at a wedding and you have, your tables, everything, and you have a simple centerpiece. It's
Yeah.
nice, it's classy, it's elegant. You're playing it safe.
Yeah.
And then let's say we go to another wedding and they have like the tall centerpiece, the candles, the charger plates, the napkins. That's elegant too.
Yes.
But there's a fine line between
Okay.
elegant and then it's overkill.
Okay.
Because when you're sitting at a table, right, your round table, even whatever shape of table you're sitting at,
Yeah.
basically you have to have elbow room when you're sitting down. So you have too much happening in the table, you're not gonna have room to move to eat because you're gonna be so bombarded with decoration.
Yeah.
So when it comes to wedding decoration, I always tell my clients, just be careful how much you put on your table. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
You don't need certain stuff to make it stunning.
Yeah.
Let's say example, and again, another thing is like budget. Budget is always important when it comes to decoration.
Oh my
Because you
gosh.
could go from having a good budget to an overkill budget. Maybe you might feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When it comes to decoration, right?
Yeah.
And I know in the past I had some brides and grooms. They DIY their decoration,
Okay.
which is fine. I always support that, but just make sure your wedding isn't your first DIY project.
Oh, that's so true.
Like you don't want
understand
you don't
that,
want you don't want
absolutely.
your wedding to be your first attempt of DIYing.
Oh.
So every time a client comes to me saying, I want to DIY, I'm like, have you done this before?
Okay.
Do you feel comfortable doing? Because before you know it's your wedding and you're gonna be overwhelmed with your DIY.
Yeah.
Some brides are like, yes, I've done this before. Okay, great. They know
Good.
how to use a Cricut machine, let's say, because that's very popular to do like to print out stuff, to do this, to do scene jar. If you feel comfortable, then go for it. But
Yeah.
if you don't feel comfortable, don't let your wedding be your first attempt of DIYing, because then you're gonna be stressed, you're gonna be overwhelmed, and then you won't have time to do it.
Oh my God, that's so true.
So that's when it comes to decor, you have to be very careful. So back to decor, budget plays a big part. And there's many companies nowadays, like rental companies,
Yes.
that you rent the decor from.
Okay.
And they bring it, pick it up, that's it, that's all. But one thing comes to rental companies is it could be very overwhelming too, because there's so much that they have you could rent. It's a lot.
Boy.
You walk in there and you're like, it's beautiful stuff. You could get your forks, knives, charger plates, napkins. If you want fake trees, I don't know. If you want chairs,
Lights?
tables. Lights, some do, some don't. That's the thing with rental companies. There's a few, not naming names, but Montreal, there's a few of them. Montreal, Laval, there's a few rental companies. Some better than others, but that's something else. But the majority, all of them have the same things.
Okay.
They have to keep us current. So if something's in trend now, like let's say what I see now is like the charger plates, which is the plate that like it's the first plate you see is like the decorative plate.
Yeah.
So I see the beaded one with the beaded charger plate.
I've seen those.
That's
Beautiful.
They're stunning, and that's what's in now.
Oh,
That's
nice.
I say it's still popular. I say it came around like 2 years ago, it really gained popularity, and I think this will be the last year of it. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
So these rental companies have to keep track of what's popular, because if they have nothing that people want, well, you lose money, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's very high in demand.
I have a question. How far in advance should you book for these?
So it all depends on how many guests you're gonna have, because it goes up by quantity, right?
Okay.
And popularity. So let's say the beaded charger plate is very popular, so I say at least 3 months in advance. Because it takes, the thing with, when it comes to decor, you might change halfway, saying, well, maybe I don't like this, or maybe there's not enough people, let's forget that and go with a more cost-effective alternative.
Okay.
You don't need charger plates. It's just nice to have. You
Okay.
all you need that most venues provide are like your glassware, forks, knives, and plates, which you have in the back, like the service plates.
Yeah.
But Pinterest, Instagram don't help. So you see things online, you're like, I want that. It's fine, but remember, what you see online is not always what is available in your city.
Okay.
So that's one thing. But I say 3 months, because when you first start planning, you're more focused on the guest list, venue,
Yeah.
food, that's a priority. But I say 2-3 months usually is enough time for the rental company to have enough notice. And most of them tell you if it's available or not for your date.
Okay.
So you don't wait a long time, don't wait forever, but you have to make a decision sort of like, so they send you the quote of how so most of the time, if you're working with a planner, not a planner, you could book an appointment at you could Google them, do a Google search, rental companies, event rentals Montreal.
Or you can call Val.
Or
and
you can
she
call
will-
me.
That's it.
I
will
got
make the
you.
phone
She knows.
calls.
I know the right people.
There you go, see?
You don't even need an appointment. Just text. I could just email.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the beauty of it. I know the ins, so to speak. It's easier that way. Because if they don't know you and everything, they ask you questions and you're like, okay. But here it's like, okay, I have the direct person in, and it's like, okay, I need an appointment with a client. Okay, come this date.
Well,
Simple as that.
what's crazy is that is you don't realize, nobody realizes, unless you're in the industry like we are, the pricing is not cheap.
It adds up very quickly.
It adds up
my
really
gosh.
quickly.
It adds up,
and
yeah.
it's not cheap. So, as a supplier, when a planner calls you, this planner, deals with 40, 50, 60 weddings a year.
Yeah. On average, depends.
On average,
Yeah,
depends.
on
But just
average,
to say, you deal in weddings. So if I'm going to supply you, my price is going to be a little bit better for you, because I know that if you like what I give you,
the
you're going to call me. You can call
for
me
sure.
10, 15 times in a year.
Absolutely.
Whereas if the client calls, the client,
gets married once.
Yeah,
get married once.
Exactly. It makes a big difference.
This is my price. If you don't like it, there's going to be someone else who's going to come, right?
Exactly.
So it's important.
And with the rental companies too, it adds up. Things add up in cost. So the more people you have, the more you're going to be spending.
Yeah.
And some venues, not all venues, some venues got smart in a way, to say the least. They provide rentals. Some, not naming names, but one venue that I know of provides certain rentals. They have in-house. But the thing with that is that they're used and used again. So they clean it. They
yeah.
do clean. They have to sanitary, but it's never up to. It's not up to date. They keep the cheapest one, so if something breaks, it's not a loss.
Okay.
So you have to keep that in mind. Like
Okay.
from the venue, they have, but it's not maybe what you're looking for. So if you
Well,
don't,
another thing I find is that when it's the venue, so let's say you go to this venue,
Yeah.
and I could name it, like I've been at the Science Center,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if they provide it, it's cool for you, you know, you
You
get a bit of a
save-
better
no.
price,
You save
there's no
a bit,
delivery
yeah.
costs, you save a little bit, but
Yeah.
in the end, anybody who went to the Science Center
it's
goes
gonna
with
have
that.
the same.
So if you go to that place, you're always gonna have the same decor. So if you
Yeah.
want yours to be a little
That's it.
Different, and that's where
That's
that's
where-
the thing. If you
that's-
want to have the different charger plate,
Yeah.
example, or the different napkin, not the white napkin, the standard or black.
Yeah.
Because most venues have white or black napkins, which is standard because they have conferences too. They do, so they keep it neutral.
Okay.
And usually there's white or black tablecloths.
Okay.
But if you don't want the norm, which is totally fine. Let's say if it's not your theme.
Yeah.
Let's say your theme is I don't pink. There you go. Well, you could have a white tablecloth, but the thing, my pet peeve with a white tablecloth is it blends in with the walls.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
true.
if you're taking a picture or with the flash, it's gonna just look like it's like
One
all-
big unit,
It's
like-
all like clumped in one, which is fine if you are the type that like I don't care about decor
Yeah.
as much as maybe someone else will, then fine. Have your white tablecloth, your silver cutlery. It'll be still beautiful.
Yeah.
Not saying that, but most of the time certain venues have the white walls, and let's say that white dance floor in the middle. Nothing. It looks all.
Uniform.
It
There's nothing-
looks like you're looking at a sea of white, which is fine.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, but it's really what you want, you
Yeah.
know? So that's where rental companies come in place because they take care, they clean it, everything, bring it, and the venue sets it up.
Yeah.
Venue/planner, someone sets it up.
Okay.
Most places the venue because they set up the tables and then whatever. So then basically from there, and then the next day they come pick it up and they clean it for the next party, next
Okay.
wedding. But some people, let's say if you're having a smaller wedding, let's say 20 people a wedding, you could buy it online too. Like Amazon is good, but I'd be careful though because you don't know really what you're getting. So
Yeah.
you're taking a chance unless if you're confident in the quality.
Yeah.
I'd say go get it off. But then you're stuck with cleaning it after, and then what are you gonna do with it? You have to sell it.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind doing that after, then fine. And even nowadays, marketplace people can stuff from their weddings.
See that.
But you have to be careful because
Yeah.
they're taking a picture. You don't know if it's broken. You don't know the quality that person, or they're upcharging you, right?
Yeah.
To make some money back. So that's why for me, I always tell clients go with a rental company. Yes, it's pricier, but you don't have to head it to take it home after.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
venue cleans it up, puts it on the side. Rental company comes, picks it up the next day or the day after, whatever the timing is, and that's it. And you
Yeah.
don't have to worry, basically.
Well, I know for a fact that some of the weddings that I've been to, and it drives me nuts. Now, I mean, to each his or her
Yeah,
own.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody has their own opinion.
Right.
But exactly what you were saying, the little tables with the candelabra and the candles,
Yeah.
and it's right smack
Yeah.
in front of the person that you're
Yeah,
trying to talk
and
to.
that's-
And you're like,
And you bring me to it, you're just, dodging it the whole night trying to talk.
Yeah, you're like,
And the thing is, speaking about those
Yeah.
are very standard.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's the most common one, and a lot of rental companies have it. But I always tell my clients, go with something low.
Yeah.
It'll be still stunning.
Yeah.
So if you want the candle look, you could get votive candles or like the tapered ones
Yeah.
in a vase, because the venues have like a safety. Like the vase has to be 8 millimeters, I think, above the flame.
Okay.
Any flame, like that's the rule of thumb. It's just for so you don't get your hair caught, whatever.
Yeah.
Just safety practice.
When you reach for that button.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get burnt or your hair on fire. But I always tell my clients when it comes to candelabras or flowers,
Yeah.
get something low.
Yeah.
Low, even if it's a round table, rectangular, oval, whatever shape it is, go with low.
Okay.
You're not going to regret it. It's low, it's better. You don't have to go on the slide to talk to someone, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
And nowadays, I find more and more of my clients, and I see on Instagram, Facebook, they're opting for lower centerpieces.
Oh, nice.
So it's no more the big thing in the middle. That's what I'm noticing more of. Like, it's smaller. Yes, it might be the taller one. It's not even really that cost effective. It's just the simplest one people could find.
Yeah.
Or what my biggest pet peeve as a planner, and I don't teach their own.
Yeah.
Some of my, like, I, not at the weddings I plan, but I've been to weddings in the past, they have this, like, the thing with the flowers on top.
Oh my
like
God,
that,
yeah.
That thing, I don't know, like the structure.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
But you're still dodging people. It's like you're cutting someone's face. You can't see the other person.
And that's the thing, like especially in an and I find maybe when you're at a smaller table,
let's
and
say
if you're
a table at
darker,
6,
like a darker color, it looks smaller.
It does.
And
it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't
for
do anything
you.
to accentuate. I
Like,
find that.
I get it if you want that on the head table at the bottom
Yeah.
to cover the front a bit. You know, you could do so many things.
Yeah.
It's just teach their own, but
Yeah.
always give the guidance to my clients saying, hey, do something low. And I know some of my clients don't like flowers. They don't want flowers for whatever reason. Go with candles.
I love that.
Candles, just that vibe, like that candle look is still stunning.
Yeah.
If you do it right,
Yeah.
with the guidance of a professional, or even some rental companies like have the candles to rent.
Yeah.
So like you rent it in, so you don't have to buy like 200 candles.
Oh my God,
like where you
imagine.
gonna
They're
store?
going to the dollar store.
Like that, the dollar store adds up. Believe it or not,
I know, it's not the dollar anymore.
It's not. It's like $1.20, $1.30 for like little thing of
little
candle.
votives, and they're battery operated too.
But speaking of battery operated, more and more venues are asking for that too.
Okay.
It depends the venue. It all depends. And I've seen a cool thing too, sand candles. So they fill up with like this like sand, like this white sand, and they put like a wick inside, so when it dies it just hits the sand, so it doesn't so if it tips over it doesn't cause any problem.
Oh, that's
it's really
great.
I've seen more, believe it or not, a lot of people are still stunning. So if
Okay.
you don't like flowers, you're not the typical bride that likes again, whatever your style, or maybe in the theme, your wedding theme, flowers are an option. Maybe you just want the classic candlelit look.
It's beautiful.
And
I
you
love
could
it.
even get different colors of candles too. Like let's say if your theme is pink, right?
Yeah.
Like that pink, you get like the fuchsia, the magenta, the light, the dark, and you could play with the height too to give it the look, and it's still not gonna block your view.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I noticed too. It's like don't get something too high, but hey, maybe you like that look. Nothing wrong with that. But if you do that look, don't get a white tablecloth.
Now,
Just don't.
and now, does color play a part in the season when you're getting married?
Yes, I was
Okay.
gonna say, you got me to my next point. So let's say if you're doing like an October wedding, you could go with like the dark green, emerald, gold,
Nice.
like dark blues, like the marine, like you could play. But even a summer wedding too, in the right setting, it could work.
Okay.
You know, or let's say if you're doing a May wedding, you could do like the lighter colors, pastels, and it'll look stunning. But every season, like you could interchange, right?
Okay.
Like let's say if you want to accent color, so let's say if you have like a lighter tablecloth,
Yeah.
let's say a blush pink, right? And you want to pop just something, you could have like a dark blue napkin.
Oh, I like
So like
that.
you could play with the pop.
Okay.
So and you could have like a gold charger plate, and like it could,
That's
you know, it could be a
nice.
wow factor, but it's not overdone.
Okay.
It makes sense, you
Yeah.
know? As long as it makes somewhat sense of colors, then okay. I know last year I did a Harry Potter wedding. I think so the
okay.
vibe was Harry Potter. So for decor, the bride loved sunflowers, like obsessed with sunflowers.
Oh, pretty. That's nice.
So
though.
she loved Harry Potter, loved sunflowers, and loved the Habs.
Oh my God.
So it was, I loved the vibe.
Finally, something
So-
I care about.
So I remember clearly she told me, like when I first met them initially, she's like, Val, I love sunflowers and I love Harry Potter for decor. And I'm like, this could work. It's a fall wedding. The
Yeah.
darker colors, the black, like it makes sense. And the venue we picked was the Veerpal Steakhouse upstairs. They had like a room that was like that rustic, like the brick.
Where's this?
A Veerpal Steakhouse
Oh, yeah,
upstairs,
yeah,
like
that-
the
oh my God.
so you get what I'm saying, like it's
Totally.
like that vibe.
Yeah.
And what we ended up doing,
And you curse it as a supplier doing those stairs in the back because they don't have an elevator. So you're doing those stairs going all the way to the top.
it was something.
Fuck.
I tried to stay as. I always try to stay upstairs at that point. Let's have to go down, but I always
my
tried
God.
my
Oh my
best
God.
to. But back to the decor. So she saw a picture on Pinterest with the floating candles.
Oh, that's lovely.
So guess what we did?
You floated the candle.
Yes. So what happened was, like, long story short, basically, like the vendors I knew that could have done it, they don't have them on hand. So I'm like, I could do it. Like the candles, like fish, like that clear fishing, like wire, like not
Line.
wire,
Oh,
but
okay,
the line.
I didn't know what you were saying.
And then what I ended up thinking was, because what originally we wanted to cover was a bit longer, like the whole ceiling, but the amount of candles, like it just didn't make sense. So we covered on top of the sweetheart table. We put the candles in that area.
Oh, nice.
And basically from there, so her family members, because the plan was do it with anyways, long story short, her family members wanted to help out. They wanted to feel part of the wedding. I'm like, you guys are gonna help me hang the candles. So the day before the wedding, it wasn't a long setup. We bought, like, you know that net, like for birds to protect your, like that clear net?
Yeah.
So we hung the net up with like twist ties and then hung the candles like floating at different heights.
Oh, nice.
And again, the family, in all fairness, wanted to help me with that. I didn't, look, it is what it is. They wanted to help to feel a part, so I was more than happy with the help. And yeah, we made it work. And then because the candles were remote control, so I had the remotes.
Oh, look at you!
So I clicked, and it was a vibe with the lights more dimmed. It was stunning. So that's one example of decor. You could take it to that level if the venue allows you to.
Okay.
So the venue gave us the okay because it didn't cause a mess.
Okay.
Like it wasn't flowers falling, you know, like it wasn't a danger because we tied them well onto there.
Okay.
And she got everything off Amazon, I believe. I could be wrong, but it worked out. And the batteries, I pre-put them in the batteries, made sure they all work separately. And then I hung them, and that was it with the fishnet. And what was nice was like that bird, not the net, but to make sure like the birds don't pick, you know, that net,
like a chicken wire.
Yeah, the chicken wire net. It was like sort of shining, so it looked like the light was reflecting. So when it turned off, like when the lights were dim, it looked like it was like the Harry Potter, like the nighttime when they, you know.
Oh, nice, like it sparkled.
It was really nice how it worked out. So that's one example of decor that you could take it to that level.
Okay.
If you want to, you know.
Okay.
Because like some venues like said the mess, or like I don't want the flowers to fall if it's not tight enough, you know.
Okay.
And flowers, you know, decor, they play a big part too, believe it or not. So you could play with anything.
Well, you know, people don't realize that how much an effect lighting could do.
Yeah, lighting could play a big part.
Lighting could change all of it.
You could have two different atmospheres, you know, and that's why when you hire, you know, a DJ or any lighting tech, whatever, whoever you hire, the lighting plays a big part. Like the lighting sets, it could literally turn from wow to even a bigger wow factor. Yeah. And in that case, when the lights were dim, that's when I turned on the candles when people were walking in.
Oh, nice.
So like it caught their eye, and it was just a little bit, but it was enough to be like, okay, we get the theme without being obvious.
That's nice.
Like that was the hidden, because example, her invites had the little owl, it had like the wand from Harry Potter. Like it was subtle, but when we took the theme to that level, it made sense.
So as a planner, when somebody comes to you and says, I have no idea what colors to go with, I mean, because they have a bridal party,
right?
And they have the flowers that go with the colors and the decor. So in that case, if somebody says, I have no idea what I want,
right? So
how do you as a planner help them?
I first tell them, what colors don't you like, so we avoid the colors that
that's smart,
that you don't want. Let's say if you're like, I don't like the color, I don't know, green. I'll be like, well, what shade of green? Because green is a big, like, is it olive green, emerald? Is it light, dark, lime? Like, you know? And then I also ask them, what's the venue? Like in the last episode, venue plays a key, because some venues, if you do a certain look, it's just gonna clash.
Okay.
Like, and most venues I know you could pull off certain looks at certain venues, but some looks will not work. Like example, Harry Potter wedding wouldn't work in a venue with the white walls. It would just be too much with the black. It wouldn't make sense.
Okay.
You know, so you need a certain venue for a certain look.
Okay.
So that's why, you know, it's important to get a neutral venue, if that makes sense. Like something that could work for everything. Okay. And at the end, that's really what I ask. Where's your venue? What colors don't you like? What colors do you like? Then I ask, well, do you have your bridesmaid dresses already? Because maybe from there, if you say, well, my bridesmaid dresses or like ivory, I'm like, okay, so we go with a more like elegant look, more neutral, you know? We could have like the off-white tablecloth, the candle, like the maybe roses. Do you like roses too? Because it could, like maybe the bride might not like roses. Or maybe roses just for whatever reason, you know, so there's a lot of like things that come into play when it comes to decor, but definitely always ask the venue, what colors don't you like, what colors do you like, and where are you with the dresses? Because if you already picked the dresses and venue, you have an idea of you just don't know it, but you're going in that direction.
Okay.
So it's just a point to bring it to life, because then stationery plays a part. Like how you're gonna do the stationery, what color of the paper do you want it, what color of the writing. So there's a lot. There's a lot.
As a guy, I'm like, I'm out.
So there's a lot.
I'm going to McDonald's.
But there's a lot that comes to decor, and it's the finer things that make it wow. Like the lighting, big thing.
Oh my God. It's huge.
But that has a big impact.
Like you could not have any decoration.
Yeah.
And just do lighting.
And it'll
If
still
you
look
do, like,
stunning. Yeah.
Just uplighting and pin spotting, and your room looks completely
It looks
different.
like a whole other.
other.
And you don't
Yeah.
need really anything.
No, you
Yeah.
need
You
nothing.
could play it. You could do it simple, but everyone is different.
Because
and
the look of it, you come in and it's kind of like appealing to the eye. Generally, not, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like uplighting, and you could pick the right tone of color that you want, lighting your wall.
Yeah.
You know,
you could
lighting
have
it up.
like a shade of pink, a light pink,
A
or
light
Yeah.
pink,
or
just-
like gold, or
right?
or the bright white, or the darker white, the warmer white. So you could play with.
Or you can even just put like a, I don't want to say candelabra, but like a flower in the middle.
Yeah,
and
just a
light the
simple-
flower. So from the ceiling, you have, they call it pin spotting.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Every table gets one little spotlight.
It's not
on.
much, but it's enough
It creates
to be
such
wow.
a vibe that goes whoa.
And
'cause-
speaking about no decor, I always tell couples just have a little something.
oh, of course, you
Yeah.
have to. I'm
Like
just saying,
just to make it feel like a wedding and
It's
not
festive,
Well,
right?
and not
you know?
just
it's
like
personalized as well,
Exactly.
right? And that's important too. You
and
need to-
personalization plays a big key too. It could really add to the whole decor to it. The more
decor vibe.
not overkill and personalization stuff, but
Yeah.
just the right amount. That's like okay. Like let's say you have a wedding logo, like a logo, like
That's
you
another
know,
thing.
so
Very
that
interesting.
could play too. Like on the menus, you could stamp it, or you know, you could whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You
Napkins,
name it.
like imagine, the napkins, the
You
tablecloth,
could-
the placemats, the plates, the this.
You could do, if you want, you could personalize everything. I always suggest to couples don't overdo it because it's not like a promotion. It's your wedding.
I'm selling it.
But there's a fine line again.
Yeah.
You know, like I always say, if you want to do something personalized, have the napkins.
Yeah.
You know, for cocktail hour, like your initials.
Yeah.
Or maybe a quote or something, you know, like something. And let's say if you want to do menus, you could have the little emblem of your names or your initials, just very lightly. Or if you want on your favorites, you could personalize a thank you note, you know. So that plays into part of decor too. I find it goes hand in hand.
That's very.
My God, I've been doing weddings like really
I was gonna
a
say,
hell of a long time, and when I first started, I'm talking many years ago.
Right.
I'm 30 years in. So a wedding back then, it was.
She's laughing.
I'm
Can I
not
have some drink?
Yeah.
I'm not even 30 years in.
Yeah,
Woo!
I've
I
done.
have a while to go.
And when I started, literally it was you picked a hall
Yeah.
and you picked a date, hall, band. So you picked a hall because you know the food's good.
Just
Yeah,
on the
that's the
name.
thing,
Just
yeah.
on the name.
Just on the name.
Yeah.
You picked the band because you know the band's good.
Or you
Yeah.
know, or you've seen them before, and you're like, we
Yeah,
like them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or the name is good. They would call you a year, 2 years in advance.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, easily. And
Wow,
then book this
okay.
date, done, right?
Yeah.
So you booked a hall, you booked the church, hall, and
Yeah.
and you literally showed up. You would pick maybe what your main course is.
Well, that's the food is.
the
Yeah.
food,
You
like
know,
you
you
kind
have
of.
to-
But you already knew because every hall had their thing. So it's like I could tell you back in the day, if you were going to Lariz, you were having steak.
That was
That's
a
the thing.
given.
They
Yeah.
had others, but they're so good at steak, and
Why
and
bother?
Why bother?
If
It's
you
like-
want a good steak, well, you're gonna go
and,
there.
gonna
and,
go
and
there.
you called them because you went and you had that steak and you enjoyed it. So
I want that same steak.
right, so
I want that
That
steak.
steak I had a year
night.
ago, I want it a year
want
later.
it.
so you would pick all of this, and then just show up the wedding.
And
You-
times have changed.
and that was
Yeah.
it. Like,
Trends.
Yeah.
Trends.
Now I literally, and
It's
this
trends.
I swear to you, I had a heart attack. I wanted to choke the bride. I wanted to choke, not her fault.
Lisa.
No, I wanted to kill her. I got the bands. I show up that day, and I'm the band leader.
Yeah.
But I don't sign the contract. I like it that way.
Okay.
I just run the night.
Love that.
So I get there and hi, nice to meet you, and let's have a good time.
Yeah.
my God, what do you mean? Like you wanted to kill the bride or something? What happened?
Well, it's weird because I show up, like I said, and I meet everybody and cool. And then the guy who signed the contract gives me the repertoire that we have, right?
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like, okay, he gives me the repertoire, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what the hell is this? So they highlighted every song. No, but not only just highlighted. Green was you have to play.
Oh my God.
Red was
Stop.
do not play at all.
Oh my God, it killed
Stop.
me.
Yellow meant if someone asks only. So I'm like, what the fuck do you think I live on stage? I'm
You
gonna
can't,
start
you're not
like.
just like, hold up a second. Let me look at the list.
I looked and I said, dude, I'm gonna not play the ones in red,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's the thing is like, so like I was saying, back in the day, it was
Right.
you call and
It was
you let
complete-
everybody do their thing.
You hire them because you know they're going to do an
Right?
amazing job. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about.
Nowadays, the micromanagement is insane. And they don't know. That's the problem is they don't know. They just say, hey, I wanted to rent 10 wireless microphones because I wanted to do a song. Okay.
Okay.
And then they look at you like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry, it's going to cost you like $3,000 just in the microphones.
Right.
And they're like, why would a microphone cost so much?
Well,
Well,
Well.
you want 10 of them. There's interference. It's a wireless unit, so there's
Yeah.
interference. So you can't buy a cheap one because if you have 10 of them, they're
Yeah.
going to interfere.
Yeah.
So you need to spend, everything has a certain thing. And it's like, but now you're taking me out of my comfort zone. And
Right.
it's fine. If you hate the Bee Gees, tell me you hate the Bee Gees. I won't
ahead,
touch
yeah,
Yeah.
ahead
I
of
won't-
time, or
I won't-
you know.
But if you cancel out 40% of my repertoire,
Well, that's
it's like, and then if a client comes up to me and says,
Play
"Oh my
it.
God, hey, can you please stay in the line?"
Well, sorry.
I can't. The bride doesn't want, or
Yeah,
the groom
you-
doesn't want.
Basically, you have
But
to.
who does that?
I
Right.
know nowadays.
It's micromanaged to the gills now.
What I try to do as a planner, so I don't micromanage any like the DJ or band or anyone playing the music. I always tell the client ahead of time to write a list of songs they don't want,
Okay.
and then I give it to DJ or band like a month before.
Yeah.
So so on the wedding day there's no micromanaging.
Yeah.
So I give it a month before and I tell DJ, look, these are the songs they don't want, and I only say give me like 10. Don't do like
Yeah.
all of them. And then what I notice is easier for DJ or the band to be like, okay, you know what? We know this ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I try to make it less micromanaging, but at the end of the day, if the song plays, they won't remember.
That's
Oh, that's smart.
Oh,
like-
that's the thing.
And
is-
that's the thing. Like, let's
Yeah.
say if they don't like Justin Bieber, for example, or not just they don't like one song from Justin Bieber, let's say, right? And it so happens to be in a mix of
Yeah.
a song, right?
Yeah.
They're not gonna be like, oh, at this part of my wedding, at this time,
Yeah.
there wasn't that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
So I always do it just in case that there's a list. I didn't make the list; a couple did. I send it to the person, the band, one
Yeah.
in charge, or the DJ, or whoever, and that's it. I don't touch the music. If the
I've asked. Sometimes I'll sit and I'll say, "Not a problem. Can you tell me why?" And they're like, I hate, let's say, like you said, Justin Bieber, and I'm like,
Poor
okay, if it's your wedding, you hate Justin Bieber. I don't want you to feel icky, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Icky.
or maybe that song brings up a bad memory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it could be like
That's cool.
something, yeah.
But some people, they take the whole. We have like 150 songs on our repertoire,
That's-
one by
that's a
one
lot.
X, and a question. And I'm like, I said, but what if?
It just
what if
happened.
What if your uncle really loves that song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what everybody's taste? Yeah, but it's my wedding. I understand.
But there's a
that's the
fine,
thing.
there's a fine line.
Fuck off. There's a fine.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I'm coming
People are
to
paying you.
I'm
People are
coming
giving
to
you
your-
pushta.
Yeah.
I'm coming to my niece's wedding, let's say, or
You
my
want
sis-
something that you know, not because it depends the crowd, the audience, the age group. You want to play something for everyone to feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like, well, it's my wedding. Sorry.
Well, is it
But,
your
yeah.
wedding? So you're doing
Yeah.
it to look nice. You're doing. You want people to have a good time, isn't
Yeah.
that's
For
why
your guests, yeah.
I want my
Exactly.
guests to have a good time.
Not
So,
like being like, what's this song or why? It
Yeah.
has to be something
Now,
for everyone.
yeah, and if someone says, "Fuck, I want to hear heavy metal," and you say, "Okay, maybe I'll put like a half a song."
Yeah.
I can't put heavy metal because the masses hate it. So,
Yeah.
yes, I'm trying to cater to as many people as possible.
And
Yeah.
that's why you know what to do.
Yeah.
You're the expert, not the
Yeah, exactly.
bride in question.
Exactly.
And I know personally when it comes to music, I always let the client talk to the DJ alone. I'm not in that because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not my wedding.
Yeah.
It's their I let the DJ or band handle the music part.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what you're doing. If you need me, you know where to reach me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's,
and all I tell them, but they have no like the first dance song.
Yeah.
What that's on my schedule.
which we're gonna get there because
Yes.
we have a segment.
Yes. There's there, yeah. So I mean, look, at the end of the day, I always tell them you talk to the DJ individually. You know what you want. I let it go from there.
Perfect.
I don't even step over my limit.
Do you have, so in terms of decor,
Yes.
Yes.
do you speak to the DJ? What are you wearing? 'Cause
I had that.
Really?
Some DJs ask me what's the dress code.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
New
Yeah.
or?
I
is
mean,
it-
I don't think it's new, but let's say if the theme is pink, maybe they'd wear a pink tie. You
Oh, that's
know,
so cute.
or something like, or what color should I avoid? Like, is it like, should I wear all black? Should I wear like a white shirt and a black pants?
Yeah.
Like, like what's the vibe of the wedding? Is it like laid back that could wear
Yeah,
like
of course.
maybe jeans? Maybe.
That's because he's alone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had clients literally, oh, we want the band to wear all white, like white jackets and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's a white wedding, no problem.
Yeah.
I said, no
Nice
problem.
day
It's
for
a
a
pleasure.
white
Yeah,
wedding.
I was gonna say.
I said, it's a pleasure, but you are going to pay for the jackets. Like,
Yeah, because yeah.
And you're going to, sorry, not to be mean, but my time to go and try on, I have to, like,
You have to get it. It has to fit you
Fit it.
nicely. Yeah.
I'm charging you for the wedding.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure for me to play the wedding and I'll do all of this. But now you want me to go above and beyond, which is cool. But
Yeah.
there's a charge. I mean,
There's
I'm
an
sorry.
additional-
I'm not gonna buy jackets
for that one time.
for that
Yeah.
one time or even two times. Like either rent it
or have
know.
everyone just black as a casual, like the black.
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
we have our. Every year we change and we update, so we have a few different looks.
Yes.
And we'll ask according to what we have.
Right.
We have black sequins, black
Yeah.
on black on black.
That's
we
fine,
have
yeah.
blue tuxedo jackets with bow ties. We
But
have
that's
different-
that's what normal is. It's fine, you
Yeah,
know.
but people will.
Oh,
you
I
can't wear the
believe-
blue
yeah.
jackets because it's gonna clash with the colors. At the
Yeah, I
wedding.
had.
Okay.
I know some DJs do, but most DJs or bands they know the dress code. I never have to tell them.
Yeah,
I
of
think I
course.
had 2 or 3 saying, "Is it okay if I wear a navy jacket?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Yeah,
Like I always wear black, a black dress, black pants, black shoes. I keep it.
No pink.
Simple.
No, I know that clash should be too. I stand out. The
Okay.
whole point is for me not to stand out.
Yeah.
Is to be behind the scenes, to pretend I'm not even there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Just going, and I do have a pink clipboard. Just saying.
Ah.
So that's the only thing you'll see that's pink. Cause
You know why? Because you need that pop.
exactly,
You're wearing black, and you've
Yeah.
got that pink, and you've got that pop.
exact. And I have it with me until I leave. I'm like, I just hold on to it, referring back to it. But yeah, just keep it. I always just keep it simple, classic. No,
Very nice.
and I blend right in. So at that point, I'm happy with it.
Nice.
So are we gonna get into the
Our next
song?
segment.
Yes.
Let's pick our song.
Yes. So for this episode is wait.
Can't help falling
Falling in Love
Can't
by
Help-
Elvis.
Presley.
Yes.
Or
I love that
Yeah.
song.
Yep, it's a good one.
Wise Men.
And
it.
I haven't heard it for a long time actually. Many weddings, it's been a while that I
Yeah.
have. I think I maybe heard it once.
It's a classic
I
song.
love
But
for
it's
sure.
you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
classic song and
Yeah.
it'll never be out of style.
And it's been done and redone
And there's many different versions
Yeah,
of it,
exactly,
which
yeah.
is fun because you
Yeah.
can maybe pick an
Sure.
updated version,
Yeah.
So that so that song I figured it's nice and I would like to hear it more. Yes.
I love the Elvis.
Here's a question for you. I'm going to
Elvis
throw
one.
you for a loop on this one.
Yes.
Because this is the hard one. Mother-son song or father-daughter song.
Yeah, good question. So I had usually when it comes to that, there's a song I find in childhood that like is a not childhood song, but something like let's say the mom would sing to her son or vice versa. So it's always like very sentimental. Like I know one song, it's blanking, but like it was very emotional. So back,
Butterfly Kisses.
yes, but
Yeah, 100%.
that's
I already
the one.
knew.
And
Yeah.
for the mother's son, because sometimes I miss these because I'm busy running around.
Mama from Boys to Men.
Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah.
There's another one I know, because he was in the military, the groom, so like he dressed up in everyone was crying, but I forget the song. I just remember everyone crying, and I'm like, because I was running around in the kitchen to make sure.
The funny thing is, in back in the day, in Italian, and it's funny because I play with a lot of young guys now and stuff. Back in the day, Italian weddings, there was 2 songs, and it was always the same 2 songs.
No, I was gonna.
Yeah,
No, not at all. It's,
okay.
Lauretta Mia for the
yes,
for the bride and her dad.
Yeah.
And it's a song written for the bride, and his dad. Like it's literally,
good to know. Okay.
And a song from Toto Cotugno called Le Mamme, which is mothers.
Makes sense.
And it was basically like 10 years of every single week. Those are the songs.
Well, if you hear it and you like it, it makes.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. You don't choose it. It's you never even discussed it. You showed up to the wedding and that was the song. There's no ifs.
Well, nowadays you pick your.
And then I'm telling the band and I'm like, guys, these were the 2 songs, because we got one wedding where we had to play one of them. So I'm like, the band, the owner of the band is like, hey, do you know this song? I'm like, dude, I can play it in the bathroom while I'm wiping at the same time. Like I know this song so well.
You know it by heart.
He's like, what do you mean? I never heard the song. I'm
well,
like, oh shit.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Oh god. But that's good to know. But I usually for those songs, like it's very very personal too.
Yeah, of course.
It's like a whole other level. So I mean, it's maybe if like let's say and some of my couples don't do that. They don't do mother son, and it's to each your own, right?
Yeah.
So I respect for usually there's always a first dance.
Yeah.
Always, like, hands down, everyone, there's always a first dance, like, never fails. And then after, it depends, depends on, usually it's scheduled in, but sometimes it just changes the course of the evening, and it's like, well, okay.
You know what?
One less thing to cross out.
When I first started, they used to do the gifts, so they would announce.
Oh, the receiving line?
No, they used to announce every gift that was sent.
Oh my
so
god!
Literally
okay. 500 people.
Every fucking card, and one of the waiters would carry the gift through the dance floor.
Okay.
And then it was horrible.
That's long.
Yeah.
Horrible. It was like 45 minutes of fucking pure boredom.
Hey, but even the receiving line, I think, are they still doing the receiving
line?
It
depends. I don't, it all depends on the type of wedding you're having.
Oh,
if you're more traditional, some do, some don't. At this point, more couples.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
It's true. Some do. I'm like, hey, if you want to do it, we have to schedule it in.
Back in the day, so now like they have the box where you put the envelopes
the cards,
and no one gives a fuck. That thing is there all night. It's in the corner on the table. No one.
Well,
back in the day, there was fucking guys with shotguns next to that thing the whole time.
Oh, I believe
you come close, I'm shooting you. Like,
it's game over. Like, don't even.
Nowadays, it's nothing.
But nowadays, what I always tell my couples just to do when you have a card box or gift table, whatever. Keep it next to you, like the head table.
There's like 10 grand in there, man.
So like people, when they come to take a picture with you, they keep, and I always say, get like a little sign. Like so people, if they don't see the
Put
box.
Put money in here. What?
Give.
And I know some couples, I always ask the DJ or the band to say, hey, don't forget for cards and gifts is right next to the... Just a reminder. Just to remember.
On the way out, there's a credit card machine. Just swipe.
ATM over there, just over there on the side.
Go to the bar after you finish like plastering yourself. Go to the ATM
right on the side.
That's it.
Near the washroom, you see on the corner.
There you go. Before you take a whiz, go there.
Thanks.
Go pay. So
now,
that's awesome.
Val.
Yes.
You are gonna look into camera one right there, look straight into
look at her. She's like,
and give your thoughts.
Yes. So I'm gonna read it because it's sort of long. So, when planning your wedding, you make so many decisions. Do I want this fork or that fork? But in the end, people aren't going to remember what napkin holder you chose. And it's quoted by Lara Stone.
True.
Beautiful.
Whoever, Lara Stone, I sort of agree.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Lisa,
yeah.
What do you say to that? Right? Look straight into the camera. What do you say? What do you say to that?
The thought of the day, I think it's once again, it's what I always say. It has nothing to do with, what's the decor plays a part, but it's not core. The core is the two people sharing that day.
And the family.
Right? And it's the family, and it's, it's the special moment. It's the importance that's emphasized on that day. Everything else is just a gravy or an add-on to
Just to add
accentuate
what
that
already-
special moment.
Yeah.
And that's,
Very good, very good. And then there's my thought.
Yes.
oh God, drink and smoke them if you got them.
No, it's even better. It's even better. It's, all the time you took to select all your decor,
It's true.
you should have fucking taken that time before you chose that guy. We would save a lot of divorces if you took that time.
God.
Very nice, Vanny.
Sorry.
It's inspirational.
That was I'm
Quote
trying to-
and quote.
And quote.
End quote. I'm gonna sign that sumbitch.
Have you written? Well, thanks
Wow.
so much. That was a
Thank
great
you.
episode.
Yes, it was.
I'm
very excited.
You know what? And the beauty about this podcast is we're gonna do more episodes. Decor is gonna come up again. We're gonna
For sure.
probably have people come and talk about it, but we're gonna break it down
Yeah.
as the weeks go on. We're gonna go into the nitty gritty of
Yes.
just
Oh, yeah.
lighting, just napkin holders, just
Oh,
whatever.
the fun
hell.
part.
the fun part.
Right?
Type of
Because
napkin.
Yeah.
the muse, everything we're gonna break it down because everything could be broken down, right? It
True.
starts as the venue is important, but then you can go and look at
Exactly.
fine. Do they have water next to them so you can take some pictures? How
Oh,
far?
yeah.
There's so many
The,
things.
the view, the this, you
right,
name
There's
it.
so much, and I love this podcast for it. So
I love it
yeah,
too.
like guys, for sure, subscribe to this,
Yes,
man.
you
It's
have to
amazing.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Our chimers, chime in. Let us know what you think.
Chimming. It's called, you'll have to do the chimmage.
Whoa, whoa.
It's the verb of chiming. Chimmage.
English courses come after this podcast.
That's right. After you get married and you're totally
Yeah.
off your rocker,
Yep.
then come the English courses.
Thank you guys
Thanks
so much
Yeah.
for
so-
tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow us, Spotify,
Instagram.
Instagram, Facebook,
Facebook.
YouTube, of course.
Of course.
Subscribe. Apple Podcasts as well.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. So check it out. Enjoy.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys. See
Bye.
you next
Thank
time.
you.